The Vice President of the United States took the stage in Oxford, Mississippi tonight. His appearance comes as Turning Point USA makes a stop on its American comeback tour following the death of one of its founders, Charlie Kirk.
Now, this segment's called Who Raised Y'all, Lee? But honestly, it should probably be called Who Married Y'all? Because a few of these folks clearly forgot what for better or worse even means anymore. My guy, JD Vance, what in the world were you thinking? You're really out here talking about losing control of your body like that's a valid excuse for a hug? Come on, bro. Stop it. There weren't any hidden microphones, no conspiracy setup, no wild misunderstanding. You were right there, out in public, plain as day. And let's talk about Erika Kirk's little fashion statement, because baby, that wasn't random. Those tight leather pants weren't just about the outfit. That was communication. Folks online are saying she wore them to remind JD of his favorite leather couch. And honestly, the internet's eating that theory up. People been calling out JD's burner accounts too. Yeah, we see you liking shady posts and defending yourself under fake names like nobody would notice. Please. That's the weakest cover-up since I only came in to use the bathroom. At least Horace thought he was having a private moment. You had lights, cameras, and an entire audience, and still decided to perform emotional gymnastics in public. What's your excuse this time? It just happened? Yeah, sure. Someone online tried to justify it saying, well, you can't tell people how to grieve. Okay, true. Everyone grieves differently. Some cry in church. Others grieve in leather pants under stadium lights. And apparently, some grieve in gray sweatpants at the strip club, right after collecting life insurance. So, let me ask you this. What exactly was up with that hug between Vice President JD Vance and Erika Kirk? Because that wasn't some quick, polite Sunday morning side hug. Nah, that looked straight out of a Nicholas Sparks scene. Cameras caught every single second of that too close for comfort embrace at the University of Mississippi during the Turning Point USA tour. You know, the very same event Charlie Kirk co-founded. The one Erika just so happens to have taken over after his passing. JD was the headliner, stepping into Charlie's old role, debating college kids, trying to appear all presidential and polished. But the internet? The internet didn't care one bit about policy or speeches. Nope, they were zoomed in on that hug. The way his hands lingered around her waist, the look on her face that said way more than grief. The vibes were undeniable. And now everyone's whispering that it doesn't look too good for JD's wife, Usha. Lost control of your body, huh? Oh, so she tempted you now? Go ahead, JD. Tell us what she whispered, because that wasn't just some random Miss Arizona moment. That felt real. And the entire internet saw it play out live. What's with all the random pauses, though? The way Erika kept stopping mid-sentence, catching her breath, it looked like she was reliving that whole moment right there on stage. I've seen that expression before. In my case, it came with a side of regret and disgust. But those long, shaky pauses, yeah, I know exactly what that looks like. And JD, he looked like a man stuck in deja vu. Let me translate for those watching. That moment screamed loud and clear. The boy is mine. The energy was strong, no denying it. So let's make this interesting. Quick poll. How many of y'all think Erika purposely left out Usha Vance's name while on stage? Or do you think she genuinely forgot it? Maybe 50-50. Because come on, Usha comforted her during her husband's funeral, and now she can't even remember her name? Sure. And let me tell you something. If JD doesn't make it to the White House, I bet she'll forget his name too. And that right there proves my point. Every pick-me story ends the same way. You can dress it up, call it destiny, say it's fate, but the truth stays simple. The way you get them is the way you lose them. So JD, my guy, take notes. If 2028 doesn't swing your way, expect the same energy you helped create to come knocking back at you. Now, as for Erika, if your goal was to calm rumors and silence the talk, maybe showing up and giving a full-blown emotional Oscar performance wasn't the move. Saying things like, "No one could ever replace my husband," just makes it sound like replacement's been running through your mind. Sometimes people tell on themselves without even realizing it. It's like walking into the house and she's standing there holding the unpaid bills, saying, "Didn't I give you the money for this?" And you reply, "It wasn't my parlay, I swear." Then you realize you just confessed to having a parlay. Same energy, different soap opera. And JD, I'll give you this one tiny bit of credit. Maybe, just maybe, you were halfway right. Sometimes people really do lose control of their emotions, their bodies, their impulses. But here's the thing, my guy. That doesn't make it okay. Not even close. You better get ahead of this before that one little moment turns into a full-blown downfall. You might want to pull a James Harden move. Drop off an apology bag, say, "My bad," and keep it moving. Because right now, this mess isn't just about damage control. It's about damage prevention. And let's be real, where are all my married men, my loyal brothers, my city boys with integrity? We need to have a real conversation because the scoreboard is looking rough out here. That so-called Christian hug JD gave Erika? Yeah, that didn't look blessed. That wasn't the holy kind of affection. That was the same kind of holy moment King David had with Bathsheba. And we all remember how that story ended. You're walking dangerous ground, my friend. You better pray this doesn't become the kind of hug that ends up in a Lifetime movie, or worse, on a Wives with Knives. Special, because once your wife Usha processes that moment, depending on how she reacts, walking away might literally mean crawling out of the house with your pride in a box. One wrong embrace can turn from gossip to a career-ending headline real fast. This ain't a misunderstanding. This is the kind of situation that makes TMZ, Fox, and Reddit threads light up simultaneously. And you know how the internet works. It never lets go once it smells scandal. If this were any other situation, this story would have already hit the true crime playlists. I'm serious. It's giving Southern Fried Homicide meets Snapped. Because the way this whole drama's unfolding, it's not reading like politics. It's reading like an episode of Dateline Mississippi Edition. And don't even get me started on the timing. The man barely left the funeral, and already we're seeing soft launch behavior. Like, bro, who launches a new situationship while people are still crying over the coffin? What happened to the old school 90-day rule? Apparently, that went out with MySpace and dial-up internet. Because folks move fast now. No patience, no boundaries, no shame. Just pure chaos and bad timing wrapped up in Bible quotes. And I'll be honest with you, JD, it's looking rough. Every gender, every generation, every feed on social media, they're all dragging this. Nobody's buying those weak excuses. People are dissecting the hug frame by frame like it's the Zapruder film. And what's wild is, the internet hasn't even unpacked all the evidence yet. The photos, the speeches, the body language, every single piece is telling a story. And that story, it's not doing you any favors. You didn't just step in it, JD. You marinated in it. You gave it time to cook. And now you're out here trying to sprinkle excuses like seasoning, hoping it'll change the flavor. Spoiler alert, it won't. Those Mississippi pictures were already messy enough. And then you had to make it worse. You went on stage and started talking about your wife's religion like it was some PR soundbite, saying you hope she leaves her Hindu faith and converts to Christianity? Bruh, what? You've been married for years with 3 kids, all raised Christian, and now suddenly it's an issue? That's not spiritual growth. That's strategic chaos. You knew who she was when you dated her. You knew who she was when you proposed. You said, "I do" to the whole package. But now that you're chasing higher office, suddenly faith is your political plotline? Nah, we see through it. And don't think people forgot about what went down with Kash Patel and Vivek Ramaswamy either. It's the same old pattern. Someone with non-Christian roots gets pulled into MAGA world, and suddenly the dog whistles start playing in surround sound. We got loose ends to tie up, right? Yeah, JD, we've heard that one before. You're not subtle, you're just louder now. And let's talk about the cherry on top. The online crowd chanting, "Go back home and worship your sand demons." Like, what? You couldn't just stop at demons? You had to throw in that extra layer of coded hate? That's the kind of mask-off language that tells you exactly who's clapping from the cheap seats. Now JD's standing there saying, "I'm raising my kids Christian. I want my wife to convert." And the internet's clowning him left and right. People are joking. Next thing you know, he'll ask her to paint her face white. And honestly, with the way that man's closet probably looks, he wouldn't even have to buy new supplies for it. This whole thing feels off. Instead of showing leadership, JD's out here showing how quick he'll throw his own wife under the bus just for applause. It's giving desperation, not devotion. And when you start mixing grief, politics, and personal faith into one cocktail, that's not power, that's poison.